Hey guys, welcome back to BDO Facebook Live. I'm Monica and today we are here with the lovely Dr. Rita. Hello.
Thank you so much, Monica.
Thank you. I'm so excited about this today. You guys, today we will be talking about reclaiming your life through healthy lifestyle and fitness. And if you guys did not know, September is which month exactly?
Healthy Aging Month.
Healthy Aging Month. If you guys did not know, we're going to talk about it today and get all the fun facts and the secrets to look like this. How old are you?
56.
At 56. I didn't believe it, but alright. Okay, so how did you get started with your whole program, your whole mindset of this?
Awesome. I am just so excited to be here, really to tell my story. 3 years ago, I lost my last remaining immediate family member, my brother, to cancer. A very rare cancer, cholangiocarcinoma. At the time, I was over 201 pounds, 205 maybe. Was working 96 hours a week, single mom, 3 children, very busy practice. I'm an obstetrician gynecologist. Been practicing for over 30 years now. And I knew, Monica, that if I continued the way I was living, the unhealthy nutrition, the sedentary lifestyle, the stress, the sleep deprivation, that I too would die prematurely. My mom passed away from complications due to obesity and coronary artery disease. My brothers both passed of cancer, and my dad also passed away from prostate cancer. So I knew that if I didn't make a change, that I too would die prematurely. So 3 years ago, I lost 67 pounds. I did it the old-fashioned way. I entered a bikini contest of all things.
How was that?
I was 52 years old at the time. And I knew that I wasn't going to wear a bikini. You know, I've never worn a bikini. Not even when I was a baby, I don't think. But what I did know that if I didn't change my lifestyle, that I would die prematurely because cancer and obesity ran in my family. So I took that chance of doing it the old-fashioned way. I didn't do surgery. I didn't take any magic pills. I changed my diet and I started exercising. But I did it in baby steps.
Right, of course. And that's probably the easiest way to do it in baby steps as opposed to just throwing yourself in it, because a lot of times that doesn't last. But why did you decide to do this naturally instead of like the quick and easy way that people just think is an easier way to go?
Well, I had a why, and I think that in addition to, I was with a group of 25 very supportive women that I was doing it with, so I had accountability partners.
That always helps.
And I have every size in my closet. I have from size 0 to 22. Mm-hmm. And I was sick of doing the yo-yo, and I was sick of losing the weight and gaining it back, and losing the weight and gaining it back. So this was the time, the defining moment, you know, in losing my last immediate family member, that I knew that I had to do something that I could sustain, that was permanent, and that it had to be done.
Right.
Not only to be an example for my patients, because it's really difficult as a physician when you're over 200 pounds trying to counsel your patients that they need to lose weight and get active. And so I needed to not only do it for my patients, but my children and the family members that I had remaining here.
Of course. And so you mentioned before, stress plays a huge part, and sleep, and obviously what you eat. So being a doctor, and you said working 98 hours a week, how were you able to keep sleep and your stress level low and all of that? Like how, that seems very difficult. How did you?
Monica, it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
It seems like it was.
It was harder than medical school, it was harder than residency, and it was harder than childbirth. And I birthed 3 children naturally. It was harder than that. It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. But what I kept reminding myself of was my why. I had to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get to 5 a.m. boot camp. Once boot camp or my exercise activity was over, I was at the hospital by 7 a.m. And I ate the same thing every day. Oatmeal. I kept it really simple. Vegetable, a complex carb, and a lean protein for lunch. And I repeated that for dinner. I kept it really simple. I tried to keep it stress-free. I did hire a meal prep company because I was so busy.
Right.
I made it as easy as I could, but it was difficult. But once you get into the routine, once that routine hit by month 3, I was sniper focused. I mean, I was determined to win this bikini contest, and at the age of 52, I won.
Nice.
I lost
So
over
nice.
67 pounds, had the most body fat reduction, and gained so many friends. So don't do it alone. My recommendation is don't do it
It helps
alone
when you have
because it
supportive
never
group.
works, right?
Right.
Because when you don't show up at the gym, no one's asking where you are.
Mhm.
And no one's asking if you ate a cheeseburger. You know, you can sneak and do things when you're doing it alone. So don't do it alone. Do it with a group of friends or family members. I did it with some women that I didn't even know, and I just gained long-lasting friendships through that.
Nice. Okay, so let's talk about this bikini contest. How did you feel when you stepped on stage for the first time wearing a bikini?
Yeah.
And not only wearing a bikini, but in front of, I'm sure, hundreds of people.
Yeah, it was the hardest thing that I've ever done because I don't ever remember wearing a bikini. So it was very, the self-confidence was really built during that 6-month ordeal, as well as you learning really to love yourself and to love your body, and not to feel ashamed of your curves and your hips and your body frame. So it was everything for me. And once I did it, I can't get out of the bikini. I always wear a bikini now, but it was more than just a bikini.
Right.
It really was growth, maturity, surrounding food, because I used to do a lot of emotional eating. I have a lot of stress in my life, and I would take that stress
trigger
and just go to Gibson's, my favorite steakhouse, and eat and have cocktails. So I really learned a lot about how to manage stress through exercise, through self-care, through meditation, through prayer, through so many things that we as women can do to relieve stress, because we have so many different hats. We're taking care of our family, we're taking care of our patients, we're taking care of so many other people but ourselves. And that's what happened to me. After the age of 40, I honestly had given up. I'd given up on my creativity, my vitality. I'd given up on my health. I just thought I'd never see abs again.
It's easy to do that when you have so many other factors to take care of in your life. And like you said, the last person you ever think about is yourself, because as women, we always have different hats: the mom, the wife, the daughter, everything. So definitely love that you found your balance. You got all that. Yes, I love it. So when you were working out and all of that, do you still keep the same workout as you did before? The same eating habits as you did before? Has it kind of altered a little bit?
Well, definitely I don't work out as much as I used to.
Okay.
I used to work out at least 3, sometimes 4 hours a day. And that absolutely is not sustainable for anyone. After I completed that part of my journey, I became certified as a personal trainer and a group instructor. So now I do more instructing and teaching and encouraging and impacting other women over the age of 40, 45 to get to their goals. My eating, I went from being a carnivore to now I'm a vegan. I'm 56, but I feel like I'm 25, and mostly it's because of what I'm putting in my body. So a lot of whole foods, veggies and fruit and grains, and trying to really stay away from all processed foods that are packaged. So it's very expensive, but I try to do my best to do organic. But that was a process.
Right.
I don't drink any alcohol now, but that was a process. That's been a 3-year journey of really educating myself and others about really what alcohol does.
Right.
What does sleep deprivation do to your body? Your body can't restore itself. Your body can't heal if you don't sleep. So I have to make myself, get that 7, sometimes I'll luck out and get 8 hours of sleep. Making sure that I'm getting water. Water is so vital to not only weight loss, but to our skin and to our kidneys and other important organs. So all of these things, were not taught in medical school. We had about 15 minutes on nutrition. So I've had to learn a lot about nutrition, about fitness, about wellness, about self-care, about sleep, about reduction in stress. All of these things have been so exciting to share with others.
Nice. And so it seems like the older we get, and even myself, I'm about to be 26, and it seems like
You're so
I
young.
can't. Well, yes, but my mother as well. It just seems like the older we get, it's harder to lose weight. Or is that just our minds tricking us, or is it actually harder? Does everything have to slow down?
Well, it's harder, one, because of the hormonal imbalances.
Right.
We see in menopause that we have a deficiency in a hormone called estrogen. We get a lot of fat distribution that is right in our midsections once we get towards menopause. But definitely, age is just really a number. When I looked at what I was able to accomplish at the age of 52, I was in a competition with 26 and 27-year-old women who never had children. And so I was able to push past the fact that, yes, I'm older, but I'm not handicapped.
Right.
And that I was able to still come out, maybe not do as many flips and a lot of athletic things that the younger women were doing, but I was able to keep up. I was able to get the heart rate up in order to burn the calories and really be successful. At any age, you're able to do that.
Yeah. Nice. And so what advice would you give to women over 40 or even in their 30s to stay active and not to give up? Because a lot of times, I know it's a process like you said, so obviously patience, I know it's going to be one of the things, but a lot of times people will go on a diet maybe a month and they're like, I don't see results, this isn't really working fast enough, and they're like, just forget it.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give them?
Definitely, I would never use the word diet, and I would just use, this is my new lifestyle.
Right.
And when I started my journey, I started to do a lot of self-talk. And at first I thought that maybe that was a little weird, but self-talk is really important. Each time that I wanted to turn around and go home, when I was in front of the gym, I would do self-talk. And I would say, you know what, Rita? The reason you're over 205 pounds right now is because you didn't take the time out to get some exercise in. Every time I reached for that cheeseburger, I would do self-talk. I would say, you know what, Rita? The reason why you're over 205 pounds is because you're not making really healthy choices. So I did a lot of self-talk, and I really stayed close to my accountability partners. It's important not to do it by yourself. There's no reason why you have to do this journey by yourself. And then baby steps. Baby steps are important. I didn't wake up and become a vegan. I did baby steps. Each month I gave something up. Month 1. I gave up red meat.
I like
month
that.
2.
Every month, okay. I
gave up chicken. Month 3, I gave up fish. Month 4, I was a vegan. I felt so good at month 4. I felt like I was 21. That was a good age for me. 21 is an age I remember where I had a lot of energy, and I said, never ever will I give up this energy, ever. And that's why I'm a vegan, because of the energy that I have. And then the other thing is self-care. You've got to take time out, and this is really hard for me. Again, this didn't happen overnight. This is a 3-year process. I had to stop and get massages. I had to stop and do spa days all by myself, sometimes without girlfriends.
Really
I had to stop and meditate first thing in the morning and pray and really set aside time for Rita, because Rita can't be the best Rita for her patients, her family, her children, if I don't do these things.
Yeah.
So it's a process, but I say baby steps first, and don't beat yourself up. That is another problem that we have, that we beat ourselves up. Mm-hmm. I always wake up, if you fall off and eat French fries or whatever your vice is, wake up and hit that reset button. Just reset. It's time to start again.
I love it.
Okay?
Fresh new start.
Fresh new start. And don't beat yourself up. And know that this is going to be a lifestyle. At the beginning, I said to myself, Rita, you'll never eat Harold's chicken again. I had to come to that realization. Never again.
I was gonna ask you that. Besides meat, is there anything else that you completely took out of your diet?
Yeah, I don't eat any dairy. I don't eat fish. I don't eat any meat.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I hear a lot of times people say you can eat whatever as long as you work out. So do you think you should control what you eat and also work out?
Yes. And it's really portion control.
Okay.
You know, it's really, a lot of people think that I had a chicken Caesar salad with grilled chicken today, they may say to me. But when I ask them to take a picture of what they ate, the salad's like this big. It's like, but that's 6 servings that you just ate. So portion control is so important to understand. There's so many apps now on our phones.
Yes,
you can do MyFitnessPal, which is a great app because it gives you some exercises, as well as you can really watch and monitor your calorie intake and have fun with it, you know.
Yeah.
Do fun things. There's so many fun classes. There's spin and bar and cardio drumming and Zumba and dance classes like Thrive at our fitness center. We have a fitness center on 95th and Sealy. It's just so many fun things that you can do to make it enjoyable.
Do you still have a cheat day every once in a while?
I don't have a cheat day. I have a cheat meal.
Cheat meal.
So never have a cheat day.
Not
because
a
cheat day gets into a cheat week.
Right.
But my cheat meal, yes. I like, sometimes it's mostly on Sundays. And because I'm vegan, I love Soul Vegetarian Restaurant. They have a great vegan pancakes with their patties that look like sausage patties, excuse me, and grits. So a cheat meal is where you want to do, not a cheat
the whole day. Okay, I have to remember that.
Exactly.
A meal. Okay, so you also have an event coming up, don't you?
I do.
Oh,
yes.
Tell us what it is.
I'm really excited. We're going to be doing a retreat in Riviera Maya. I Am That Woman retreat is going to be October the 10th through October the 14th. And I am just so humbled because I'm going to be on the panel with Ernestine Shepherd. She's the 81-year-old bodybuilder with some amazing women, Dr. Karen Pennington and Valerie Taylor. Susan Taylor is going to be our keynote speaker. Some amazing, amazing women. The lineup is going to be incredible. And the whole focus is vitality at any age.
Any age.
No matter if you're 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, you can regain your vitality back, your creativity back, your energy back, your sexy back. You know, all of that can be regained, and it's not lost. And I'm just so happy that, unfortunately, the circumstances that led me through my journey, but I'm so happy that I'm able now to share with other women
and help everyone out
that they can get that vitality back at any age. So join us in Riviera Maya. That's October 10th through the 14th. It's right around the corner, but you still have time to register. And it's a great self-care. We're going to have yoga and so many relaxing spa days. And we have butlers and just amazing.
It sounds
amazing
like
retreat.
a spa day. Like you said, the whole thing sounds so relaxing.
Yes.
So if you were to give advice to women over 40 or just, like you said, any age, and they want to start their transformation, just to start the shift of their healthier lifestyle, what 3 things would you say to start with?
I would say is to start with a group, find a group or a partner that the both of you have a common goal just to get active. And it can be anything. Let's say you love to roller skate and you haven't roller skated in years. Maybe it's walking, maybe it's hiking, maybe it's swimming, maybe it's yoga. Whatever the activity is, just get started. I started 2 days a week. For 1 month, I just did an activity. I didn't change my diet. Then the second month, then let's add on nutrition.
Okay.
Let's slowly just take one thing out of our diet. Let's take sugar, which is the most toxic substance
Keep hearing that, yes.
that we are intaking in our bodies. Just take one thing out. And then number 3, give yourself one self-care day a week. You don't have to spend a lot of money doing it. You can do one self-care thing. It may be a manicure or a pedicure or a massage or just a quiet walk by yourself on the lakefront. So those are the 3 things, you know, making sure that you have that self-care. It may be a nap.
Right.
Maybe it's a nap on Saturday where you're telling your family, I'm not doing anything.
Right, just turn off your phone
yes,
just for a couple hours.
right.
I love it. You're telling everyone that you don't have to jump into it. It's not a fast process.
No,
you can just slowly ease into it, and that's probably the easiest and the most effective way to do this.
Yes,
this whole
yes.
healthy lifestyle.
Right. I remember when I first started, I would use my profession as an OB-GYN as an excuse to get out of the exercise class. So I would tell the teacher that the hospital was calling me
Really?
for a delivery. And I would go
class.
to the bathroom and actually cry. I would call my son, my Joshua, my middle child. I say, Joshua, I can't do this. He would say, Mom, get back in there.
I love it.
But yeah, at the beginning it was so difficult that I would fake a delivery. But don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh my goodness, that's very funny, but that's very relatable. You know, we say we're going to start and we just get out of it. You know, I can't do this, it's so hard. You know, I just want to eat. You know, like just forget it. So I like that that he can convince you to go back in there. And I hope you did that day. Okay, good.
I went back in there.
Good.
Yeah.
And I'm sure afterwards you felt better about it,
did.
and you're happy that you did it. So that's always a good thing as well. Do we have any online questions?
Yes. One of the viewers wants to know what is the proper caloric intake they should be going after.
Right. So that proper caloric intake, great question, is a can be factored into exactly how much weight you're trying to lose. So MyFitnessPal is one of the apps I love using. You can just plug in your weight, you can plug in your height, you can plug in exactly what your goal is, and they can actually calculate the amount of calories that you should be taking in per day.
Nice, very nice.
Another viewer said the struggle is real.
Yes.
So can you speak to different ways that you got through mental blocks throughout your journey?
So for me, the mental block that I use was my why. I kept my why in the forefront of my mind. My why was my brother. Just losing him so quickly was devastating. So that was my why, and I used my friends, my accountability partners to keep me honest, you know, making sure that if you need a wake-up call for those 5 a.m. classes, get someone to wake you up, and just really staying true to yourself and asking for help. Absolutely, I know that my why in the group of women that I lost the weight with was the reason why I was successful.
You can't do it alone, for sure.
Do you recommend that everyone go vegan or give up meat, or how? What do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
No, that's something that's personal that you can decide on doing. We know that the meat industry, red meat, chicken, they're genetically modified, they're full of hormones. So if you absolutely have to eat meat, make sure it's grass-fed beef. Make sure if it's at all possible organic. That's something that I did to win a competition. And then once I did it, I found out how good I felt. And then I was like, I'm not going back. So it's not anything that I intentionally planned to do to become vegan. Absolutely not.
Okay.
If someone told me I was going to be vegan, I would say, you're a liar, you're a liar, a liar. Because I love my red meat. I love my steaks. I love my hamburgers. So that was something that absolutely did not, that was not something I intentionally wanted to do. But I love being a vegan. Absolutely.
I'm sure how you said before, also in portions. So not to maybe have meat every single day, but if you had to maybe a couple times a week or narrow it down to once a week, that would be better than having it every day.
And the other thing I did when I was on my journey, I was very honest with myself. You know, when I became a vegan, I had to ask myself, Rita, how do you feel?
Right.
I mean, honestly, do you feel better when you eat fried chicken at Harold's, or do you feel better eating vegan?
I'm sure.
And I had to be honest. I was like, drats, I feel better as a vegan. So just be honest with yourself. You know, when you wake up and you have a stomach ache and everything hurts because you ate all that horrible fried food, you got to be honest with yourself. And I had to be honest with myself, and I felt better.
Nice.
What are some tips you can give to someone who doesn't have an accountability partner?
A good thing to do is to find one. And you can come to our facility. Our facility is on 95th and Sealy, and we have so many accountability partners for you if you're on that side of town in Beverly. If you're not, you could seek out one maybe through your church, if you're in school, even at your workplace. There's so many people that are health conscious now that really want to get back into wellness and health. So try just a little harder through maybe your Facebook friend. Put a post out there and say, hey, does anybody want to join me? I want to get healthy and I want to change some things. Who wants to join me? So that's a good way to do it too.
It definitely helps to have a support group around you.
Yes.
Great. So can you also tell us where we can find you? We have your website up. Can you say what your website is?
My website is drritamaguire.com. You can find me there. I have all the links there. I can answer any questions. My email will link you up, or my website will link you up to my email address, and I would just love to help, and I would love to come back and talk some more with all of you.
Of course.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Rita. And you guys,